those of you who came from DC, thanks for that too. Are you all ready to make a little history here? Because that's what this campaign is all about. I don't know about you. I felt like in the last campaign, it was a little awkward because I worked in 1992 for President Clinton. And then last time with then Senator Barack Obama. And watching the race that took place in '08, it was one of the hardest decisions I ever made, because in Hillary Clinton, you saw somebody every day who you knew could be an awesome president of the United States. And the idea that we made history in '08, but we've got history to make in 2016. And not only is it going to be great to see her as president of the United States, because on day one, this woman will be ready to go. But at the same time, having a woman sitting in that Oval Office is something that I think we're all ready to see in the United States of America. And maybe President Clinton would agree. We're bringing him in by satellite right now. Oh, I guess perhaps not. Anyway, and if the history part of this thing isn't good enough to get you guys revved up, then did anybody happen to watch that Republican debate thing that took place? Yeah? I mean, you didn't have to watch 3 hours of it, right? Like, you got the point in about 3 minutes. But when you looked across that stage and you saw what was at stake in this election, when you saw where these people were, whether it was climate change, whether it was guns, whether it was on women's reproductive rights, whether it was on any of the issues, and then you look today and you see Cecile Richards up before that House committee on Planned Parenthood and what was at stake there. And then you see today Donald Trump out there with a new tax plan that's going to give billions more to billionaires. You know that there is a lot at stake in this election. And it is why they are fighting so hard against Hillary Clinton. It is why you're seeing the attacks every single day that have taken place. And I'm happy to, when we get to Q&A and do all that stuff, if you want to, talk about any of that stuff, we can. But they recognize that she is the one who can stop them. That she is the one who this year not only can stop them about what they will do to this country, but actually take us in a different direction, in a new direction. I think that's at least as important as what we do to make sure that they don't get control of that White House and take us back in a way that is so destructive to everything that's been done this last couple of years under President Obama and a lot of the hard work that people here have done. So, I just want to say, first of all, even if she wasn't going to be the first woman president of the United States, you got to get out there this year, because Virginia is ground zero. This is the place. Do y'all know who David Plouffe is, who ran Obama's campaign? All right.
Yeah.
So we were down with Senator Warner last weekend, because I also worked for Senator Warner on some of his stuff. And Plouffe was speaking, and he said, unquestionably, if Virginia goes for Hillary Clinton this year, that's it. That's the end of the story. If we win Virginia, we will win the presidency this year. So it's only on you, and we got everybody's name here. And if it doesn't happen, we're all coming back, and we know exactly who to blame. So I don't want to get into that whole blame thing, but if we have to, we will do that. That would be like what Donald Trump would. Look, it's a great country, but I'll blame you if it doesn't go quite right. But I want to tell you just a little bit about sort of what's been going on in terms of the campaign generally. Despite some of the headwinds that maybe a couple of you have noticed that we've had the last couple of months, around emails and all of that, and it really is nonsense. I got to tell you, I've never seen so much, as President Clinton said, so much energy around so little. But it definitely has been something, if we're going to be honest about it, that has sort of, more than anything else, created noise out there. It's like, hard if every day on the news you're seeing email stories to talk about all the things that she's been proposing. And no one has put out the kind of plans that she has this last year, this last summer. It has been amazing. It's been on things that really matter to actually changing people's lives. And I think that's something that, when you think about Hillary Clinton, one of the things we were sitting around the other day and sort of talking about, like, what is it that makes her different? And on the one hand, you see in her this person who has incredible experience, right? I mean, like, who's had more experience than Hillary Clinton? You think about all the way back to those early days when she was at the Children's Defense Fund. She didn't choose to go to a big Wall Street firm. She chose to go to work for kids. That was her first job out of college. And then in Arkansas with school reform. And then in the White House as First Lady in getting children's health care for 8 million kids today that have health care, because she didn't give up when health care reform first went down in the 90s. She kept pushing and pushing and got health care for now, today, 8 million kids.